Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at the Blue Lantern, the Flash, as opposed to just the Blue Lantern Flash. As you'll notice, the hands and mine seem to be turned in an odd direction in the packaging. I don't know what the deal with that is, and frankly I don't care, I just want to open this up. I assume it's probably in good condition otherwise. It does have the collect and connect piece. By the way, Blue Lantern logo, just always kind of confused me. At a glance, it's always reminded me greatly of the Sinestro Corps emblem, except for turned upside down, like the reverse of fear is hope. But, it is actually substantially different. Now, Blackest Night, in addition to all the other confusion, kind of mixed me up because they had three Flashes alive and active at the same time, although technically the Bart Allen Flash was still just Kid Flash. But you had Barry Allen and Wally West. Barry Allen got a power ring, Wally West did not. Wally West just got the crap kicked out of him by it. I think the Black Lantern, Professor Zoom or whatever, was beating him up, and Blue Lantern Flash comes in to save him. And of course, to further confound matters, because, Zoom can time travel and all that, he's also alive at the same time that his Black Lantern is running around, so, yeah. Confusing stuff, but hold on a second and I'll get him a pack. FYI, the packaging on this is just a complete pain because you have the molded plastic in addition to also having the rubber bands, which I'm not sure how the hands could even be twisted and packaged, but I guess, it might have just been a factory thing. I'm gonna need to cut this thing out. So, once again, iCree completely crapped out on me, but let's continue. Blue Lantern, the Flash, comes with the left arm of the Anti-Monitor, as well as a Blue Lantern, or Blue Power Battery. As always, it's just a repaint or reuse of the same generic lantern mold. It doesn't have like the symbol of the Corps on it or anything, and even technically speaking, all the characters in this wave are just deputy lanterns anyway, and they technically shouldn't have lanterns at all, so yeah. Now, as for the figure itself, I've really never been a fan of this costume for the Flash. First off, just being the fact that blue is the exact opposite color of the traditional red, and then, this outfit just has a lot more going on with it. I mean, I really was a fan of the Flash's sort of simple, distinct look, and this seems like they just added a lot of stuff to sort of spice up the image, and it doesn't really work that well for me. Although, looking between the two, you'll notice he does have a lot of these same distinctive features, including the little lightning emblems on the boot, head, and the lightning flash along the belt and the arms. This, of course, if you haven't figured out already, is basically a remold of the previously released and re-released Flash. He's been in All-Stars and a bunch of other ones at this point since his original release in the DC Universe Classics line. I was never a fan of this figure either. For some reason, like if you look at the legs, it's got it seems to just really go in a bit more than it does on other figures. It's just a weird muscle or whatever. I don't know, or at least it looks more prominent on this. The only major difference between these two figures, for some reason it looked like he was taller for a second, but probably not. It's just the fact that he's got new hands and everything here, and otherwise the sculpts should be essentially the same. Except for the different paint, obviously. Now, generally speaking, I just didn't really like the fact that the Flash got a power ring at all. I mean, it just didn't seem like a very good fit for the Flash's natural abilities and powers, whereas a lot of the other superheroes, use weapons like Wonder Woman, will use swords and stuff. Batman, for instance, although Batman's not really... He didn't get one in this one. But, I mean, he uses tools and everything. So, I mean, if a character uses stuff, it does kind of make sense to give them, a power ring just because they can replicate it and use that instead. In case of the Flash, nah. I can't really recall what he did with the ring during the whole time, other than just beams of light, which when combined with other lanterns, blasts would disintegrate the black rings. I don't know, but I guess they just decided, we have to give everybody a ring. Even though technically speaking, he didn't really even need one because he had managed to avoid. Wait, was it Wally? I can't remember if it was Barry Allen or Wally West that managed to avoid a black ring by just jumping a split second forward in time or whatever. It was a weird moment. Otherwise, he's got his little logo right on top of the logo for the Blue Lantern Corps. You'll notice the black lines just randomly going across the outfit. Sides here, heavy amount of shading here in the chest. I didn't really like that at all. I would much rather just have the colors be bright. Personal preference though. You'll notice the lightning's a bit lighter than the other blues on the outfit. I guess just so it'll be distinct going along the waist. The blacks, of course, are solid, and just not a tremendous more about to say about this figure. Quick run through of articulation, rotation at wrist, single joint elbow, rotation bicep, ball jointed shoulder. Head has the usual range of motion, ab/diaphragm joint, waist, usual leg motion, thigh, knee, and ankle. So always no ankle pivot. I don't know, of everybody this wave, Blue Lantern the Flash I think was probably one of the ones I least cared about. After seeing him, holding him in hand and everything, that opinion really hasn't changed a lot. I think I thought of him a bit more favorably when I was seeing the early reviews for him, but in person, I don't know, he just doesn't seem to have the same amount of pop, and I think part of that at least is due to the shadowing and stuff. I mean, if had they gone with just straight up brighter colors, I probably would have liked this one a bit more. There is a DC Direct version of him available in this outfit. I believe it has a shinier metallic finish to it. That one I think might look a bit nicer, but that one doesn't come with a arm for the anti-monitor, so personally this was going to have to be the one I'd pick up, and I probably won't buy a second one just because, a second version of him in this outfit. So, I'm just not fond of him in this outfit in the first place. Although, I guess it will look kind of cool just having him up next to all the other Justice League characters with their, Lantern Corps and stuff outfits. But yeah, this has been a look at Blue Lantern Flash, basically the same as the normal Flash. But he comes with a collect and connect piece, as opposed to this guy who thus far has never been released with any sort of collect and connect. Because he originally came with the stand, and then again with the All-Star releases, and what was the other one? I think it was World's Greatest Superheroes or something. Again, I think he just came with a stand. But yeah, until next time, folks.